Rigathi Gachagua has successfully played a dirty card on William Ruto, and the impeachment process that started with a spirited effort from the two houses of the Senate, the National Assembly, has turned to be a poison chalice for the president. A fight Rigathi seemed to have dogged William Ruto with trivial matters on the judges, and successfully, the president seemed to be out of his comfort zone. So in this podcast, I want us to look at the request by the president to the Chief Justice that has been declined, and why Ruto is finding it difficult to navigate the judicial terrain, contrary to what the public had perceived. But before I look at that, we are in the county number 018. This is the beautiful county of Nyandarua. Granny Care is with us here. So, of course, after due consideration and a matter of requests, we decided to come to do Granny Care this time round in Nyandarua, Kipiripiri constituency. In Kipiripiri constituency is a place known as Miharati Squatter Camp. So we are going to support 3 elderly members of this community. We are going to put up structures, each one of them. Penina Nyambura Maina, 84 years old, has been staying here in this place, for the place is called home, for the last 40 years. From her own statements, this is where she stays. This is her residence. So what we've been here for the last 2 days. That's why I've not been able to produce a video. Down the background search and all that. They were given allotment letters by the former President Uhuru Kenyatta. But since then, they've not been able to put up structures. So what we had canvassed and we'd agreed with them is to put up a makeshift structure next to this. Hii tabaki, so there's a pikia hii, to build another one next to this so that she can have a decent place. The other one is Njoguna Kamande Monyo, born in 1942 in Murang'a County, but migrated to Kipiripiri in 1964. He's saying he's lived here since then. He has no family and lives all by his own here. This compound, I'm told, to Meenda Pale, they don't, now this one doesn't even have toilet. So apart from building creating another structure for him, we'll see if our budget can be able to allow us put up a toilet for Mzee Maina. And then the last one is Alice Njoki Kinyanjui, 88 years old, live alone in her small earthen house here. These structures are in a very devastating state. So what we've agreed, and we are going to put up nyumba ya juu mabati, wall mabati, then we must plaster the floor and make it look better, because huku is very cold. Ni baridi sana. People come from Nyandarua will bear me witness. That place is very cold. So that's why we've decided that's what we're going to do. So share in. With construction should start on Monday and Tuesday next week. So between now and Sunday, or rather the better part of Monday, we'll be able to fundraise so that we can do this Granny Care. And may God really bless you as you purpose to support this great mission.
Now, a 3-judge bench is set to rule on an application to recuse themselves from hearing a petition by impeached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua challenging his ouster. That ruling is expected anytime from now, but we have pictures from the Milimani Law Courts, and we are then expecting that activity to begin. And we have our reporter Kagonye on location, and we are also following closely whatever reactions are happening on social media from key personalities and their tweets, things we will engage you on the same. And as I earlier on mentioned as well, our eyes and ears are on this particular matter, and we are at the Milimani Law Court.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want us to look at some of the accusations that Rigathi Gachagwa's legal counsel has raised against the judges. And you'll agree with me that Rigathi is playing a dirty card in the judiciary. Of course, something that William Ruto really wonders whether that is how the case is supposed to go. This is well elaborated by this question by Nelson Harvey.
Who understands all the relevant facts and has examined the record and law. Now, insofar as Honorable Justice Freda Mugambi and Honorable Justice Eric Ogola is concerned, has there been demonstration on the basis of a reasonable person who has examined the record and law to demonstrate that there is bias, real or perceived? That is the question that this court must answer. What about Honorable Justice Anthony Murima? The charge is that the Speaker of the Senate, the Right Honorable Amason Kingi, attended his wedding. My lady and my lords, there must be meaning to the term learned friends. There are those who have written, including a writer by the name Jess Brailia, a book titled Lawyers and Other Reptiles. And there are those who have also written, including Feroz Norji, practicing an honorable profession. Indeed, we are learned friends. A judge is first an advocate and second a judge. A judge does not reside in isolation. And if I may just say, for example, I've had a cup of tea with Justice Anthony Murima.
So you can see the way he has raised some accusations against those lawyers and demanding that those lawyers should excuse themselves from that case. I don't know to what end, but of course one thing that Rigathi has employed successfully in the courts is a delay tactic, and that delay has really dogged the whole thing. So from there, William Ruto had some 3 prayers that he has asked the court. I want you to look at this, and now this is what Martha Koome seem not to be, the judges seem not to be buying from the president's counsel. Number 1, William Ruto demanded that lawyer Haminwa be banned from addressing the court on the matter of Rigathi Gachagwa's impeachment. And of course, he's been in that case representing Sheria Mtaani. That is the organization he represents there.
Respect for our judges. I respect our judges. I have been very privileged in my entire life. I've spent it saying, may it please your honor, may it please your lordship. I've interacted with the judges, both at my home, eaten with them. They have invited me to their homes and so on. And I had the privilege of working as a judicial officer, as a resident magistrate in the colonial days. And I had the privilege, rare privilege, of even marrying from judiciary. Your Honor, this is people serving as judicial officers are decent people. We may have some isolated cases of some people who are not what we think they should be. But the people on the whole serving the judiciary are decent people. And as a matter of fact, I've said it elsewhere, very loudly too. Kenya is what it is now because of the judiciary. Without the judiciary, you would have something quite different in the country. Judiciary has saved the Kenya, has built the Kenya. We enjoy respect that we enjoy in this country because of, or in the world, because of our judiciary. Our legal authorities by our judges and so on are cited everywhere now, including ICJ and so on. They are cited with approval that they are good law and so on. We respect our judiciary. But my lords and my lady, if you look at Article 145, when you're considering Article 145 and Article 150, we have to be extra.
And he's been barred from there because from the very first day, he shouted down Eji Muturi, not Muturi, Eji Muigai, former Attorney General Muigai, when Attorney General was saying that he's the senior counsel, so he has the privilege to speak before any other person. No only the person has the privilege to speak before him except the Attorney General. And to that end, I think Hamino was thrown in that case as a spoiler. He asserts the authority he's the oldest lawyer in Kenya, asserts his authority and comes out as a voice of an elderly figure, even though that's the end he's representing the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua. And what I don't seem to understand is why William Ruto wants Hamino out of that. And you can see the way Hamina really argued out his case when he was confronted with this reality. So to some end, I don't know why they would really want that. Unless one thing I can see is they've realized the way that probably he has more time and he has more privilege in terms of when representing the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. To me, it doesn't hold. The second prayer that, and that was not granted, by the way. So the second prayer, Ruto asked the High Court to drop Rigathi petitions and lift the orders, the conservatory orders, so that it can pave way for Kindiki in swearing in, asking that the court, Rigathi Gachagua, should head direct to Supreme Court. And, you know, even as this is supposed to happen, Rigathi is being asked to go to Supreme Court, while at that point they have been planning for swearing in of Kindiki. There was some multiple reports that even Kindiki was, the succession had started, even some renovations were supposed to start on this matter. Now, if there is something that has been a game changer, and this is what now is sending some shockwaves on William Ruto, is the fresh petition by Rigathi Gachagua, and Rigathi Gachagua lined up the president as one of respondents in that case. Of course, there is a law that says the president is immune to prosecution. So I don't know to what extent does it apply, because on this one, the accuser, the hidden accuser of Rigathi Gachagua is none other than William Samoei Arap Ruto. Dr. Ruto is the main accuser of Rigathi Gachagua, is the complainant in this case. All these other people, the National Assembly, the Senate, and all this, these are just proxies. But the man who wants Rigathi out of his way is William Ruto. And of course, after maintaining his silence, the country has been asking, what is William Ruto saying about it? Why is William Ruto silent about it? But Rigathi Gachagua has successfully pulled him out of that comfort zone and lined up William Ruto as one of the respondents in that case. Remember, when Advocate Elisha Ongoya was in the Senate, he said that if someone is accusing Rigathi of insubordination, then the person who should be complaining is his boss, who is William Ruto. So that is why even the people who crafted that charge sheet from the word go, they really had a good, they had a big mess by bringing in that. Now, this clearly has rattled William Ruto, who has been asking the court to expunge his name from that petition. And when the court declined, his lawyers decided to pull out of that case, saying they're no longer going to represent the president, when they realized that that could not happen. I want you to get a snippet of what transpired when the lawyers walked out.
My Lord, with your kind permission, for record purposes, I wish to bring to the attention of the court that we shall no longer be acting for the sixth respondent in this matter. And to that effect, we have filed a notice to cease acting on account of the Supreme Court decision that determined that the president cannot be subject to civil proceedings. So in that regard, we will not be able to act contrary to an express court order, and we have therefore filed a notice to cease acting and we ask the court to deem that to be a sufficient notice that the person named as the sixth respondent is now unrepresented in this proceedings. Thank you, Dr. Kamoto. However, we are not inclined to do anything this afternoon except the business of the two files before the court. After that, we can take actions as may be necessary. Most obliged. As far as time allocation is concerned, this is how we allocate time. The main applicants will give you 15 minutes each. The main applicants will give you 15 minutes each. Supporters of the application will give you 5 minutes each. If they are supporting the application, will give you 5 minutes each. Respondents will give you 7 minutes each. Interested parties will give you 5 minutes each. Rejoinder by main applicants will be 7 minutes each. We ask the court assistant to observe time strictly.
Can you permit me to say something?
So this matter is now emerging, and what I don't really understand here is why would the president feel uncomfortable to testify against his deputy while it's in public domain that the man who wants Ruto out is William Ruto. Who wants Rigathi out is William Ruto. Now, secondly, someone raised another matter to me. Remember the issue of the Bibi land, and there are other cases on land. There are other cases that are going on. So the issue of the Bibi land, the owner of that land is William Ruto. So why is it that when it is the matter of Nabibi land in Naivasha, no one is raising objections that the president cannot be prosecuted, the president cannot be in court, he's immune to prosecution, while when he's pursuing a matter of, interest, like on a personal interest, like land, and for example, Leo, if someone decides that, if someone raises a claim that some piece of land, that land that Ruto bought in Taita Taveta belongs to him, will Ruto not seek redress in court? He will go to court. So to that end, he can go. But how about when this matter of national interest also, like changing the deputy president, now there is this issue of immune. And in fact, I think the crafters of 2010, when they will be called to give their input on reviewing that constitution, I believe one day that constitution will be reviewed, even when it will be 20 or 10 years later, it will be reviewed. When that constitution is reviewed, we should extract that part that gives the president immunity. We've seen some presidents getting jailed. Recently, there was a president that was jailed for 20 years, even after leaving power. So we should not, because that immunity is also abused to some extent. When you give the president immunity, and then the next day, amenyang'anya mtu kitu, people can't get justice. So that is a very critical part, and it pointed out to me that one thing. It was easy to navigate the Senate and the National Assembly because of the numbers. Why has it made it difficult to navigate the other side of this, the other side of the judiciary? Why has it become technically not very easy as they actually purposed to navigate? Remember, I'm telling you, the case is going to drag, even after Kindiki is sworn in. This case is going to drag in court for long, because the IBC that was supposed to clear the candidature of, to clear Kindiki is not yet in office. It's not fully constituted, and that is not fully constituted. And that is why you remember last week, there was even an attempt I think there was a court case that was in court that got a breakthrough for a panel of making the IBC commission to be made. That panel was given a leeway. And I think as a country, we always have deliberate effort to cripple IBC in between elections, so that by the time people head to election, we now make a body that is now going to convenience us. I think we really need to be very sensitive. Why is it we are not really working on the matter of IBC? And so when Rigathi's lawyers are done with discrediting the judges, they might raise another objection on the IBC. And so William Ruto will really regret not firing IBC. But I want to confine myself to where Ruto is finding it difficult to navigate the judicial terrain, contrary to the other National Assembly and the Senate. Kindly subscribe to our channel and also support Nyandarua Kipiripiri mission. We are going to support these 3 elderly women staying in a squatter. They were given allotment letters by the former president, so they were allowed to put up structures, but they really stay in very dilapidated conditions. So we've been here, we've done the research work. That's why I've not been able to do the video for the last 2 days. And what we've sorted as the best is to put for them some good structures. So we will do that between Monday and Tuesday. Kindly contribute, support this mission. From Kilifi to County 018, the county of Nyandarua. So for the last few days that we'll be here, pia tutakuwa tunasikia what is the mountain saying about Kithure Kindiki, and about Rigathi. I can tell you it's very interesting. You really get to understand what's happening on ground. I'm seeing some 4 issues that I want to raise on this matter, why it is not very easy to navigate the judiciary. The concept of Rigathi removal was ill-advised right from Mutuse's charge sheet. I kept on saying from when I saw the charge sheet, those 10 grounds, those grounds were very flimsy, except the political card on the shareholding. And the shareholding, the capacity, the shareholding charge, while it is actually a label on the deputy president. Now, the magnitude of effect it has caused is just a mountain being built from a hill. But if you put it to a very deep scrutiny, you realize that this is just part of the political statements that was made in the political platform that both William Ruto and the team were actually celebrating. And it's something that people really, by the time the deputy president was consolidating the UDA base only for the president. So it's a charge that is two-faced. While you can charge the Rigathi Gachagua, but again, it's a charge that you can have on the other side. So it's one that is still holding. And because of that, if you look at the others, I think they have not successfully defended. They have not successfully defended their charges against the deputy president. And everyone saw what's happening. In fact, we've been saying that whenever that case is going to be subjected to a judicial scrutiny, case by case, all those grounds, you might be shocked to see the court actually not supporting what the Senate and the National Assembly did. The second one is the judiciary is looking at public interest in the case. And the public has vehemently opposed, saying, this is not going to address our problems as we speak. This is not a priority to us as a country. So the judiciary is also looking at it on that manner. The other issue is Rigathi removal is packaged as a Ruto agenda. The more it is packaged as a Ruto agenda, then the judiciary finds a bone to bite with President Ruto. So the enemy here, the rivalry is not between Rigathi. The judges, or rather the judiciary, might also have a rivalry with the president. Because look at how the president libeled judges in January. Yes, the president started the libel on judges until it had to take an intervention of the Koome and Ruto meeting in Statehouse for such a case. So, and also there have been the cases of contempt. So it's not really very easy for them to have a smooth ride. The last bit is the courts are setting a precedence that could hound in future over endless impeachments. Thank you, guys.